Welcome to America Needs Fatima. Lessons from Fatima. Hello, my name is Antonio, and today we are going to talk about the third apparition of the Angel of Portugal. Now, for those of you who are not acquainted with the Fatima story, Our Lady of Fatima came to Portugal in 1917, and she appeared to three shepherd children, Lúcia dos Santos, Jacinta, and Francisco Marto. Now, before the apparitions of Our Lady, in order to prepare the children to receive the Mother of God, they saw the Angel of Portugal 3 times in 1916. During the third apparition, the angel appeared holding a chalice. And what he did is the following. He left the chalice suspended in the air, and then he came around and knelt right next to the children and prostrated himself in reverence to the Blessed Sacrament. Now, prostrated here could mean either one or two things. He either knelt down and touched all the way and touched his head to the floor, or he actually totally prostrated himself on the floor, a bit like, when priests or seminarians are ordained to the priesthood. All right, but the bottom line is that he took an attitude of profound respect and reverence towards the Blessed Sacrament. Now, when we look at that, and this is an angel, what he is doing is not exaggerated, it's perfect. Now, when we look at that, we see immediately a discrepancy between the angel's attitude and what we see today in many churches, for example. Now, what am I talking about? How many times have you been to a church and at the end of Mass, everybody begins talking exactly like they would in their own home or at a birthday party? No difference. Now, what sort of idea does that convey? Is our Lord Jesus Christ really present in the tabernacle, in soul, body, blood, and divinity? He is there. But do people really believe that? And if they did believe, would they still talk like they do in their homes? There's something wrong there. And this causes a problem. Today, I am very sorry to report that 70% of Catholics no longer believe in the real presence. And this is the problem. If we no longer show reverence to the Blessed Sacrament, others, and especially the younger generation, observing that, stop believing. And I want to tell you a story, a short one, which I once heard from Archbishop Fulton Sheen during one of his talks. And it goes like this. There was a lady who was converting from Protestantism to the Catholic Church. It's a long story, but I'll keep it short. She was she went through all the classes, all her catechism classes and everything, a long process. And she arrived to the end, and she was almost ready to take the last step and ask to be baptized in the church. But she was struggling with one issue, and that was the real presence. She believed it in theory, but in her heart, she still was a little uncomfortable with the idea. In other words, she didn't believe it fully. And being an honest woman, she did not feel that she could take the last step unless she felt that she totally believed what the church teaches, that our Lord is truly present in the sacrament. So one day she was praying in a church after Mass. Everybody had left, when all of a sudden she saw the priest coming out of the sacristy in order to close the windows. He was holding one of those long sticks in order to close those tall windows. And she had an idea went through her mind, and in a very impulsive way, she got up from where she was without the priest noticing it and went and hid inside of one of the confessionals. And the confessional was in a position in a way where she could watch. She watched the priest while the priest could not see her. She saw the priest close all the windows on one side, but when he went to cross from one side to the church, from left to the right side of the church, he had to pass in front of the Blessed Sacrament. And to do this, he stopped in front of the tabernacle, knelt down on one knee, waited a moment while he was kneeling, bent his head, and only after a few seconds he began to come up again. At this moment, the lady burst out of the confessional. She probably shocked the priest a little bit with the noise, threw herself at his feet and said, "Father, I am now ready to become a Catholic." Now, what happened there? She saw a priest who truly believed, and because he believed, he showed that profound reverence. And with that, whatever doubts she had were all disappeared. And she was, she believed at that moment, 100%, 1,000%, if you will, that Jesus is truly present in the Blessed Sacrament. And everything, not because of a complicated doctrine, no, because she saw a priest, show reverence to the Blessed Sacrament. Now, so let's try to learn a little bit from the Angel of Portugal, because again, what the angel did is a perfect and very balanced attitude. It is that type of attitude, that type of reverence is what we owe to God. But there is another aspect of this, of showing reverence to God, is the effect that our attitude has on other people. If we show, reverence to the Blessed Sacrament, we will help others who maybe are struggling with their faith to believe. Now, if we do the opposite, if we don't show the reverence, like, a lot of people, they pass in front of the Blessed Sacrament, they don't even kneel anymore. And so when we do things like this, we will help people, lose their faith. So my dear friend, try to keep this in mind, the example, the lesson that the Angel of Portugal gave the children and gave us. It's a very important lesson. Thank you so much for listening. And before I let you go, please make sure that you subscribe to our channel and especially click that little bell. And I also left you a link below this video about a campaign that American Needs Fatima is currently running. It has to do with an offering of a rose to Our Lady of Guadalupe in reparation for the sins of abortion. Our Lady of Guadalupe is also she's the patroness of the Americas, but she's also the patroness of the unborn. So click the link below and, read it for yourself. Everything is explained there, and I hope you join this very important campaign. But above all, try to think a little bit of the story of the angel and also the story that I just told you about this lady and the priest, and see how, you can perhaps adjust a little bit your sense of reverence. Thank you so much, and God bless.